This is a persuasive speech by Alison Presutti.
The government wants you to believe that genetic engineering is safe and reliable. It's being looked at as a business without considering the moral and physical implications. Genetic engineering is defined as the artificial manipulation, modification, and recombination of DNA and nucleic acids in order to modify organisms and populations of organisms. By altering DNA, we're putting our future at risk. There are too many unknowns. Genetic engineering should be prohibited. These funds would better be used elsewhere. For people with severe food allergies, genetic engineering is a virtual food landmine. There is no known way to know what allergens these new foods contain. A genetically engineered carrot, in order to try to make it more nutritious, contains milk proteins without requiring any new kind of labeling. Someone with lactose intolerance would have no way of knowing this. A normal protein can become an allergen by the process of selection and transformation in genetic engineering. That beautiful ruby red tomato that you buy at Publix, that's bigger and redder than the other tomatoes, may contain poisonous allergens. The only way to test these new products is on animals, and that's a whole other debate. There's so much uncertainty in genetically engineered foods and their effects on humans and the general population. We may be unknowingly destroying an entire population of plants, just like extinction in animals. Even if we believe these new genetically engineered foods were safe, once they're in the environment, there's no way to recall them like you can a defective product off the shelves at Walmart. Once a genetically modified organism is in the environment, it's out of control. These plants are unpredictable. DNA is a relatively new discovery, and genetic engineering is changing DNA. Our knowledge is just not complete. We might produce a perfectly genetically engineered banana and a perfectly genetically engineered apple to resist frost so they can be grown all year round up north. But what happens if these two fruits produce a new, highly poisonous superfruit? Plants such as corn are being genetically engineered to produce their own pesticides. This allows the farmers to not have to spray them as much so that they can lower their costs when bringing the corn to market. However, the pollen from these genetically engineered corn is being blown in the wind and landing on milkweed, and monarch butterfly caterpillars are eating it and dying. The possible poor outcomes are endless, and it's irresponsible of scientists to mess with Mother Nature. Perhaps the greatest need to stop genetic engineering is the trend towards reproductive genetic engineering. This is when parents are allowed to pick their child's sex, hair color, and eye color. This is being marketed as the hope that their children will have fewer diseases, but parents are really being given the ability to choose the traits that they find to be better. This type of genetic engineering is expensive and is limited to the wealthy, furthering the gap between the poor and the wealthy. Choosing your child's features also adds more pressure and responsibility on a parent. What if along the way something went wrong? Your child became terminally ill. You might blame yourself. By meddling with DNA, you would never know if it was your fault that your child was sick. Also, once a child is informed that they are genetically engineered, they may blame you for any character traits or personality flaws that they have that they don't like. What if you have one child that's genetically engineered and another child that's not? What kind of problems would that cause in your family? The manipulation of human characteristics should be stopped. We're experimenting with our future and robbing our children of their uniqueness. Where will we draw the line? Scientists have genetically engineered a tigon, a mix between a male tiger and a female lion. What's next? A human and a tiger? We're playing God in a high-stakes arena that we are in no way able to be gambling in. We need to demand labeling on any products that contain genetically engineered foods. Genetically engineered plants should be separated from other crops, and we need years more research into DNA before we expose these plants into the environment. If nothing else, I would ask that you consider the negative effects of genetic engineering.